Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Always Compete Seahawks Podcast. As you may know, we took a little hiatus. We were spending a week down in the Caribbean getting our tan on. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm looking mighty dark right now. Just kidding. I'm literally so pale. But we're back. We've had a busy week. He moved. I graduated. Kind of been busy, but don't worry. We're totally back. Ready to bring you guys some more great content. So for today's video, just to kind of kick things back off to where we were, we decided to go with a top 10 quarterbacks list. I mean, what better way to get views on YouTube than to do a top 10 list? I mean, Watch Mojo has made like 10 million subscribers off doing that. So, we're copying the Watch Mojo formula. We're going to do a top 10 list, counting down the top 10 quarterbacks of the year. One thing to note, we did not include Deshaun Watson because reasons.
For obvious reasons. Several obvious reasons.
You know what we mean.
Yeah.
So we each have 3 honorable mentions, and then we rank the quarterbacks from 1 to 10. This is as unbiased as we can be, obviously. And so, yeah, I'm ready to get into it. So we want to start with our honorable mentions.
I'm ready to get into it. So what's your first honorable mention? Here, we'll say it at the same time. No, I'm kidding. We'll not say it at the same time. Just say
my first honor, and this is the honorable mentions are in no order, by the way. My first honorable mention is Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr is a very good quarterback. I think Derek Carr has zero help on defense. I think his head coach is terrible. I really don't like John Gruden. But I do think he's a good quarterback. He's a solid quarterback. He's not the cream of the crop, but he's a franchise caliber quarterback. So he's just outside the top 10 for me.
For my first honorable mention, I had Kyler Murray. Once again, in no particular order, just who I wrote down.
Ooh, it's spicy.
I'm dropping a hot take.
Spicy.
Personally, I think Kyler Murray is far too inconsistent.
Okay.
And he hasn't shown legitimate passing stats that are like, whoa, look at Kyler Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of like tough to not be like brought in by his like flashy running style and his like electric plays. Last year he had 26 touchdown passes and 12 interceptions. Like those are pretty average. And I know his running thing is a whole different thing.
You're
but
right.
Like you can't just give somebody like as a quarterback, I can't just willingly be like, hey, you ran for 12 touchdowns, but at the same time you had like mediocre passing stats. Here's the top 10 part. So I think he's great, and he's probably going to be on his way there, honestly, but not yet, in my opinion.
All right, my second honorable mention quarterback that I had is my hair is acting crazy right now. I have Ryan Tannehill. Is Ryan Tannehill a good quarterback? Yes, but he's got a great offensive line. He's got freaking Derrick Henry behind him. I mean, a lot of their offense is predicated off of the play action. You play action, you get the linebackers to flow, you throw behind them. That's a very common staple in the Titans offense, and it should be when you have, Derrick Henry. He's also got A.J. Brown, who I think is a fantastic receiver. And if you remember, before Tennessee, the dude was a bust. He was one of those quarterbacks picked before Russell Wilson. The dude was in bust category.
But do you remember Miami pre-2019?
I'm not saying Miami was a world beater. I'm just saying I haven't seen anything from Ryan Tannehill that makes me be like, okay, that guy's a top 10 quarterback. So he's good, but he's not like top 10 good in my opinion.
Okay. My second honorable mention, I have Justin Herbert. Just kind of overall,
bro.
This is listen.
What?
You can't, unless if it's like Patrick Mahomes or something, I can't just be like, hey, Justin Herbert, here's a top 10 spot. I kind of did this mix of like last year and overall how they've played in the last like 3 years.
This is a lot of a projection of next year, is what you're saying.
A little bit.
You're saying it's more so.
It's more like past. It's like
okay.
How like I did like 50% how they did last year and 50% their 3 other years. Justin Herbert only has 1 year, and I think that honestly, if we're going off last year, he's a top 10 quarterback. But I can't put a rookie in the top 10 unless if he has like a Patrick Mahomes season. I can't do it. Like Baker Mayfield, after his rookie year, he was good. He put up legitimate great stats. He had like 29 touchdowns. Nobody thought Baker Mayfield was a top 10 quarterback after his rookie season. So I just can't do it. Justin Herbert, I think you're awesome. You're one of my favorite rookie quarterbacks. You're my favorite rookie quarterback, one of my favorite rookie players, but
I'll be honest. Okay, Terry, Nicole, and any other Chargers fans, if you're watching, I did your boy good. Sam over here is a Justin Herbert hater. I will disagree with you
that like Justin Herbert.
I will disagree with you that Justin Herbert is my favorite rookie quarterback. Got to rip the man. Tua just got his jersey, so obviously that's my guy right there. But I did not disrespect Justin Herbert like Sam just did. My last honorable mention, and I said the honorable mentions weren't in order, but this is the best honorable mention quarterback. He is number 11. Very little debate about it. And being from the state of Illinois, I saw this guy a lot, watched him every week. It's the MVP, Mitchell Trubisky. I mean, name me another player who on Nickelodeon primetime television balled out with one touchdown with 5 seconds left in the game. I mean, they lost by 30 points, but who cares? And wins the Nickelodeon Valuable Player Award. And on top of that, he's so good, the kid reporter couldn't even pronounce his name correct. He said Mitchell Trubisky. He's so legendary that the kid cannot process the name of Mitchell Trubisky. I mean, if that isn't deserving of an honorable mention spot, I don't know what is, honest to God.
I disagree. I had Mitchell Trubisky at number 1, personally.
Okay. I mean, yeah, obviously.
But yeah, no. For real, as my third honorable mention, I had a mix because I think these people are damn near the same quarterback. I had Derek Carr / Kirk Cousins. I think that they're damn near the same quarterback. And
ooh, that's a good one. Honestly.
Kirk,
that's a really good one.
Kirk was kind of underrated last year. He didn't play great, but he didn't play bad. And
he's a guy that plays great when the sun's out, and then when the moon. He's like a reverse wolf. He's like a reverse wolf. When the sun is out, when the sun is out, he's great, but when it's nighttime, he just shrivels up, and he's
like an anti-vampire.
It's an anti-vampire. Yes.
Yeah, but I think Kirk has serious signs. Like, weird stat for me. Like, whenever I watch Kirk Cousins, I'm like, his spiral is really tight all the time. Like, he throws like a really good spiral. But yeah, Kirk / Carr, kind of the same player.
You can't really be in the top 10 though when you're like 0-10 on Monday Night Football. Like, that's
0-10 in prime time in general. He can.
That's really hard to be in the top 10.
Yeah, but yeah, those are my honorable mentions. I think we're willing to get to the top 10 here.
All right, top 10. Number 10.
Number 10. Who do you want me to go first?
Yeah, let's switch up the order. You go.
I had Matt Stafford.
Totally agree. That's my 10 also.
Cool. I think Matt Stafford was 10th before going to the Lions. I think that Matt Stafford is a totally legit quarterback. Mike Robb, he's not 5th in the NFL. I don't care what you say.
Mike Robb is on some – like, can we just sidetrack for a second? Mike Robb is smoking something very illegal. I don't know what he's been smoking.
Hey, I think he lives in Seattle. So I think he lives in Seattle. So he's open to a lot of stuff over there. But listen, Matt Stafford is a pretty good quarterback. And he has been his entire career.
Yes.
Pre-Calvin Johnson, during Calvin Johnson, and post-Calvin Johnson. I just realized saying pre-Calvin Johnson, he never played pre-Calvin Johnson. So I was gonna. But during Calvin Johnson and post-Calvin Johnson, he's always been a good quarterback. But he's on the Lions, or he was on the Lions.
There's such a dysfunctional organization. I don't know if prime Joe Montana would have won a playoff game like that with that.
I don't know if prime Tom Brady. I don't know if prime Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, we're basically the Lions suck, is what we're saying. The Lions
and they've
suck.
Always sucked, no matter who they have. Even with Barry Sanders, they never won a playoff game. In my opinion, Barry Sanders is the best running back there.
They won with Barry Sanders. Yeah, they won literally one playoff game. Between Barry, Calvin, and Matthew Stafford, they have one playoff game to show for it. That's so sad. It's so sad.
Yeah, so Bobby Lane, the curse of Bobby Lane really effed them up, man. If you guys know about that one, leave a like.
Yeah, that's a story, man.
Matt Stafford is a totally acceptable quarterback, and him going to LA should make him better. But the media needs to calm down. He's not 5th.
Yeah, no. I think he's in the range of like, yes, I shit my pants when he was traded to the Rams, but no, I wasn't like, oh yeah, the Rams are certified Super Bowl team. I'm not certain they're a super team now, but I did. I'm not gonna lie, I was very uncomfortable the night he got traded. You hit the nail right on the head. Very good quarterback on a very bad team. Again, he doesn't have the wins or playoff success to show for it, but he's got arm strength. He's got toughness, leadership. He's pretty accurate. He makes good decisions for the most part, although he does kind of have the Brett Favre syndrome where he's got such a great arm. He thinks he can make every throw, and sometimes he can't. But that's few and far between. I really like Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, I'll be honest, he's the guy on this list that has the ability to jump the highest on my list. He could definitely be top 5 by the end of the year. But right now he sits at 10. So
yeah, real quick, I just want to look this up. I can't remember. Did Matt Stafford ever have? No. Okay, my bad. Matt Stafford, I thought he had a 50 touchdown season. He didn't. He had a 5,000 yard touchdown season. He had a 5,000 yard season.
Yeah.
With 41 touchdowns.
Yep.
Which is
2011.
2011, his team went 10-6.
I'm good. And then
but whenever his team's been really good, he hasn't played super great. Like 2014.
Weird.
I think his team made the playoffs that year at 11-5, 22-12.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's never played great when his team's made the playoffs.
So
actually,
Sam, what you're
stat.
saying is Matthew Stafford's going to throw like 30 picks this year.
Yeah, because the Rams are a good team. So
they're insane. Yeah.
Guys, get ready. Matt Stafford dropping all the way to 31 on my list.
Woo! All right, let's move
just
to number
behind
9.
Russell. No, I'm playing. All right,
number 9. What do you got?
Baker Mayfield.
What? Sam.
Let me tell you something.
Sam. Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield. I think that Baker Mayfield is underrated. Couple reasons. Last year, I will admit, first 8 games, he was a scrub. He was a scrub first 8 games. He was bad. But as soon as OBJ tore his ACL, weird thing, but as soon as OBJ tore his ACL, this dude was on demon time. He had like 5 interceptions in the last 10 games of the season. This guy has finally a good roster, really solidified around him. And I think he's going to keep jumping. And I think that he's ninth. I think he's the 9th best quarterback in the NFL soon.
From the information that you've given me so far, you claim that Baker Mayfield is a better quarterback than Kyler Murray.
Yes.
Sam.
I do.
Sam.
I do.
Sam.
Hear me out. Kyler Murray, it's easy for us Seahawks fans to be like, wow, Kyler Murray's amazing. Kyler Murray's a game.
Yeah. He's really good. Did you see him smile and then just destroy Quentin Dunbar on that throw to?
Well,
that's maybe the most
I would smile if I was throwing at Quentin Dunbar too. So I'm sorry. No offense. No, but hear me out.
We don't care. He signed with the Lions. We don't care. Talk crap all you want.
If you really look at the stats in the analytics in the last 10 games, Baker Mayfield was a pretty good quarterback and one of the best in the NFL in that span. So I think that's totally fair to assume that he'll take another jump this year. And I think it was just growing pains in the first 6 games. I don't think OBJ is good for him. I think that OBJ is like, I don't know what. OBJ just makes quarterbacks bad. It's just kind of like his thing.
Eli Manning retired when OBJ was like giving the ball.
Yeah. OBJ was in his prime, and Eli was like, man, I got to start sucking. I got to start being terrible at this point in my career.
Revert to derp face Eli Manning.
Yeah, but listen, Kyler Murray, right? Kyler Murray. I'm not saying, in my opinion, Kyler Murray can be higher than Baker Mayfield by the end of this year. I'm saying that Baker Mayfield, right now, I have more confidence in him, and I think he's a better quarterback.
Okay, before I get into my number 9, just answer this yes or no. You've played Madden, the fantasy draft, all that. You have a pick of quarterback. You're taking Kyler Murray or Baker Mayfield. Who are you taking? You're taking Baker Mayfield?
What's Madden?
Well, okay, no.
Kyler Murray.
No. Not playing the game, man. I'm saying if like the NFL was like a fantasy draft style, you have the pick. You're taking Baker Mayfield.
It depends. Is it 1 year or is it like 10 years?
10 years.
10 years, I'm taking Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray could be better than Baker Mayfield by the end of this year.
You're taking a 1-year rental. You're taking Baker Mayfield?
1-year rental. I think I'm comfortable taking Baker Mayfield.
All right. To segue into my number 9, ironically enough, I had Kyler Murray at 9.
Yeah. Of course. You know, that's understandable. In my opinion, I just don't think I've seen enough. I don't think I've seen enough.
Okay, here's the thing. Offensive line is atrocious. I think Cliff Kingsbury is dog shit. I think
Cliff Kingsbury is a horrible coach.
I think he's a high school level coach.
He got fired from Texas Tech after going like 4-8, and the Cardinals are like, "Come on in, Cliff Kingsbury."
He got fired because he had a losing record with Patrick Mahomes. He had Patrick Mahomes and he couldn't win games. Anyway, I digress. Kyler Murray, he's electric. He can run around. The reason that he's at 9 is because he's young. but I think he could throw very well. I think he's a super freak athlete, and I just think that he is a great quarterback. The fact that you don't have him in your top 10 absolutely baffles me. And I don't know what you might be smoking the same thing that Mike Robb is smoking, because no way Baker Mayfield is better than Kyler Murray. What, are we watching the same NFL, Sam? Oh, God, Baker Mayfield. Just move to number 8. I'm getting upset here. Move to number 8. Listen,
I think Baker Mayfield is better than Kyler. Did you even have Baker Mayfield on your list?
No, I don't even have him in the honorable mentions.
How? You think that Baker Mayfield's worse than Derek Carr?
Yes. He's got the best offensive line in the NFL. He's got the top 3 or 4 running back.
Who tore up the Steelers defense last year in the playoffs?
The Steelers defense tore up
the Steelers defense. Okay, sure. Number 8, wide open. I have a guy who's in your honorable mentions. I have Ryan Tannehill. Hear me out. You're like, oh, Derrick Henry carries his offense, right? Derrick Henry carries his offense. This dude had 33 touchdowns, 7 picks.
That's because everybody is so scared of the guy behind him. He pulls back, fakes it. Everybody's eyes are on Derrick Henry. And he's like, oh, have you seen videos of when they do like a boot out and he fakes it to Henry? Everybody flows to Derrick Henry. Dude, Ryan Tannehill could like watch a whole season of Criminal Minds on Netflix, just chilling in that pocket. Oh, look, A.J. Brown. Like,
bro, listen. I think that Ryan Tannehill has showed me enough to prove that he's a top 10 quarterback. I watch the games. He plays well. He plays legitimately well. And do I think that he's a quarterback who's going to tear up the league for 45 touchdowns? No. But do I think he's a quarterback that, despite his really good running game, which you cannot blame him for?
I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying it's.
I'm talking about right now. Ryan Tannehill has won games previously. He has played well in said games, and he's shown that he could be big in the clutch time moments. I think that Ryan Tannehill isn't necessarily underrated. I think he's finally being noticed, and I feel like, once again, do I think he's a game terror? No. I think probably through my first 3, these are guys who aren't going to totally rip up the game, but are guys who are going to be, how do I say this? Like guys who are going to be
here. I'll give you
game managers, but like at the top tier of game managers.
I'll give you a little thing before I go to my number 8. So in the playoffs, they played the Ravens in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens completely shut down Derrick Henry. Tannehill was rendered useless
because he didn't have to do that all year until they.
So
put
he
him
didn't
in the
have to carry an offense all year.
No, but that's why I'm saying that he's a game manager. I'm saying my 10 through 8 are game managers. These are guys who you're not going to give franchise money to, unlike they did, which is a dumb decision in my opinion. I think he's at max $25 million quarterback. They gave him like 35. It's stupid.
That's Russell Wilson money, bro. That's so stupid.
Yeah, but I think that Tannehill, if you were to take him on another team and put him in a system, say, like, what's like a solid offense that doesn't have a great running back that they can lean on? Like, Bills.
The Bills. Yeah.
They have that one option, and then they have a couple decent other options. I think Ryan Tannehill, is he putting up Josh Allen stats at 45, and 10, and like 30? No. Is he going to put up like 30 and 10 confidently? I'd say so. And I'm saying that I think that Ryan Tannehill and being in Miami was just the absolute.
It's the Adam Gase effect. It's the Adam Gase effect.
Yeah, he's played under Adam Gase. He could regress without Arthur Smith. I will say that. I think Arthur Smith was a huge help for him, and him being gone could really hurt his game. We're going to see how that develops. Mike, I can understand you not having him on his list. I can understand because there are reasons why somebody will say, but looking at the stats and looking at what he's done and how he can play the games and how he's played under a legitimate offense, I think that he's deserving of a top 10 spot.
All right, my number 8 spot is a guy, and to be fair, fairly similar. I think he's more talented. I think he's a better leader. I think he's like a souped up version of Ryan Tannehill. I have Dak Prescott, better athlete, better arm, more accurate. He does have the good offensive weapons. He does have, for the majority of his career, a good offensive line. Does have Zeke, who's been solid. Head coach has sucked for the most part. I think he's a dog. I don't think that he's some world beater that people make him out to be. Like Cowboys fans think he's, the next Troy Aikman or something. I don't see him like that, but I think he's a very solid quarterback. He's a guy that I think you can go out and win playoff games with. He's a guy who can be your franchise. The reason he's at 8 is because I think he's a top 10 quarterback. But again, with the injury, I don't know how he's going to come back. Like you said, part of it was projection to the future. I don't know how he's going to come back from his injuries, but being that he's got such great weapons and a decent offensive line, good running backs, I think that Dak is at number 8.
Okay, yeah, I had Dak at 7, so totally understandable there.
Perfect.
I think that Dak is like the first player who I'd say is like franchise quarterback worthy level. Like if you were to call Dak a franchise quarterback, I'd be like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Dak can be a franchise quarterback. I feel like last year people forget like the records that he was set to break. Through 4 games, he had 12 total touchdowns, which was kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's kind of like Russ almost, how Russ was set to break all those records. Dak was kind of on that same level. Tyron Smith coming back is going to be really good for him. CeeDee Lamb developing is going to be really good for him. I just think that defense is going to be so atrocious that they won't be able to win games. So,
well, that's the other thing that's going to help our case is Dak's going to have to throw for 6,000 yards for them to be competitive. Like their defense is going to give up 35 a game. They're going to have to score 35 a game to be in it. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of.
To be fair, they kind of did last year in a way when they did play. So, all right.
So you have Dak at 7?
Yeah,
at my 7, I had a guy that you totally disrespected. I had Justin Herbert. I am in love with Justin Herbert. In terms of the player, obviously, I like Tua more. Team Tua over here. Tua will be on this list in about a year, but as of right now, whatever. You didn't play that much. But Justin Herbert at 7. The reason I have Justin Herbert at 7, insane arm strength. Absolutely, he's got a fucking cannon on his right arm. If you watch at times during games, the game against the Buccaneers, that was one of the prettiest throws I've ever seen in my life. He makes throws that most of the guys on my list could not make. He contorts his body. He could throw from the side. I mean, I absolutely love him. He's got great wide receivers, Keenan Allen, guys like that. He's got good weapons. He's finally getting a competent head coach. And I know he was a rookie, and I know they didn't win many games, but let's be real. The Chargers going to Charger. They're cursed, obviously. I just think that he is so talented, and he's got good weapons. They signed guys in free agency. They signed 2 new premium offensive linemen. I love Justin Herbert going forward. And I know I'm seen as like a Justin Herbert hater. Well, clearly Sam is the Justin Herbert hater over here. So Chargers fans, don't come for me on Twitter. Make sure to come at him at Trayvon Season. That's who you direct your hate towards.
Hit me with a follow, and we can DM about.
I'm pointing the wrong way because it's like inverted. So yeah, hate towards him. Yeah. But I had Herbert at 7.
Personally, I could totally see that because I think that if you're basing it off last year, Herbert totally fits in that 7 range.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I can't. I'm just one of those people who like I can't say that that like somebody's there after 1 year unless if that person is like there like already.
Well, he
there.
did break the rookie touchdown record. To be fair.
I know. Yeah, I know. But then he had moments where, say, he blew a lead versus Denver, versus Drew Lock. That's no.
I think a lot of that was on Anthony Lynn, though.
Some of it is on Anthony Lynn, but you're also kind of being like, "Hey, Justin, go score some points for us." And I mean, at the same time, he did do that. Once again, I'm not blaming it on him, obviously. But then there was games like, didn't they lose like 45-0 against the Patriots last year? Like, I just can't.
Well, I think his first game is just a reflection of how good he is. I mean, 5 minutes before the game, the doctor punctures Tyrod Taylor's lungs, which is still hilarious to me. And they're like, "Oh, hey, Justin." I feel
so bad for Tyrod. Honestly.
Hey, Justin, go beat Patrick Mahomes, please. And he's like, "All right." Plays really, really well, and then their defense just choked the end of that game and let the Chiefs win. So,
yeah, I mean, once again, I could see it, and I totally think by the end of this year, Justin Herbert will be in the top 10. But I maybe did I don't think I included much future projections into this as maybe you did.
All right, what's your 6?
I think I would have Justin Herbert at 8 or 7.
Yeah. What's your 6? I feel
this
like we might have the same.
This is where we're starting to get in the cream of the crop, right? This is where we're starting to get in that.
Top 5, 6 is the really the guys you could win a Super Bowl with.
I have Lamar Jackson. I have Lamar.
Ooh.
I think that Lamar is a total weapon. I think that his arm is still very much developing, and I think that he's getting there. I really start to think that he's getting there. I feel like people are starting to forget how good he was when he won the MVP. Last year was kind of an off year. He caught COVID, and his team was just really bad around
The receivers
him.
are dog. You know what?
This year, I'm very excited to see what he's going to do with actual receivers. Like, to have a guy like Sammy Watkins come in, who's not going to get 1,000 yards, but he's going to get like 750.
Sammy Watkins, though. Rashad Bateman, yeah, I'm excited.
Rashad Bateman was a fantastic pickup, and I thank them for finally picking up a wide receiver.
That was one of the few.
Believer.
That was one of the few picks I got right in my first round mock draft was Rashad to the Ravens. It just made too much sense. Like, I was like, if he's on the board, there's no way to take him. So I agree with Lamar at 6. I had him maybe a little bit higher, but at my 6, personally, I had the GOAT, Tom Brady. Now, this isn't like what he's been, obviously. I don't have to give him the rundown. You know, Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. 7 rings, 3 MVPs, you know, blah, 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 bajillion Pro Bowls. You get it. I think Tom Brady is still a fantastic quarterback. Obviously, he's the reigning Super Bowl MVP. But I think age is starting to play a factor. You kind of saw in the NFC Championship game. I don't want to say he noodle armed some passes, but you can kind of tell that he didn't have as much velocity and distance on some of his other throws. I mean, he threw 2 picks in the NFC Championship game. So I don't think that he's elite in terms of his physical tools anymore. But dude, it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady has seen every coverage 100 times. He probably knows what every player's girlfriend's middle name is on the defense. I mean, the dude studies his ass off. He's got great receivers, got a good offensive line, good head coach. Buccaneers are going to be stupid good this year. So I couldn't exclude Brady from the top 5 or 6, but I just think father time, I don't want to say it's creeping up, but it's kind of like tapping his shoulder, like aggressively tapping the shoulder. So I'd Brady at 6 personally.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool. I had Brady a couple steps higher, I'd say.
Okay.
But yeah, I could totally understand that, because at this point it's kind of all debate. At this point, I think it's kind of all debate.
Yeah. At
5, I had Russell Wilson.
Whoa.
Listen. What? I sat down. In my heart.
Take your shirt off right now.
In my heart, I think Russell Wilson is better than Josh Allen. But in my brain, I'm like, they're kind of equal. I feel like Josh Allen had a better year than Russ last year, and it's pretty hard to dispute that. It's like really, really hard to dispute that as a Seahawks fan. And it hurts because still in my heart, once again, I think that Russ is better than Josh Allen. I think Russ has had better moments than Josh Allen. I just think that there were parts last year that really – I think Russ is obviously still where he is. And once again, if I could have probably if I could have a 5A and a 5B, I'd honestly do Josh Allen and Russell Wilson, because personally I think that they're in that exact same line. That's where I had Russ.
So – like, let's be real here. You had Allen 4, Russ 5?
I had, yeah. I mean, no. I didn't have it. I had, so Russ 5, and I'll tell you who was 4 next.
Oh, you're scaring me big time. At 5, I had Josh Allen. You'd like to talk about, experience this, experience
that. Okay, can I be real with you? Right?
Let's see it.
I wanted to see what you were going to say. I kind of said it. I did have Josh Allen at 5. I'm sorry. I had to say that personally. I wanted to see what you would say, because I do think that, once again, they're on the same echelon.
Sam, I was this close to I
think that Russ is better.
Super sane mode.
I'm confident that Russ is better for 2 reasons: better coach and better coaching for Josh Allen. First, I think that's why he had a better year last year. The plays that they had designed for him were far more creative.
Better offensive coordinator, to be specific.
Yeah, Brian Daboll last year was way better than Shoddy. And
Shoddy, was not good.
Then I had another reason I had offensive line is better. Like,
significantly.
Better. And a third reason, I think that he had the best receiver in the league last year.
Yes, I agree. Stephon was the best receiver last year, yes.
So all that together, I just think that Josh Allen putting up those stats, which are similar to Russ, is less impressive than Russ putting up those stats. Even with Russ's receivers, I think there's more things that affect Russ.
True.
So I had Allen at 5.
I was very happy because I was about to go Super Saiyan mode. But no, it was just a prank, bro. It's just a prank. It's just a prank. You pulled that. So I had Allen at 5. Very similar things you said. Great arm strength, mobility, extend plays. Brian Doble really unlocked him and his full potential. Him and the trade for Stephon Diggs was probably the best trade of the year last year. In terms of immediate
D-Hop, I'd say. Just value-wise. I'd say value-wise, D-Hop.
Yeah, value-wise, yeah. But in terms of immediate production.
Yeah, immediate production, Stephon Diggs was the best trade.
You're right. Value-wise.
Just as like a team impact, I think Stephon Diggs was far higher.
Yes.
Stephon Diggs got that team an extra couple wins.
Yes.
Just from him coming in.
I agree. But I had Josh Allen at 5. Again, really good. A lot of the same things that you said. I'm interested to see who you had at number 4. I think I saw it briefly, but I want to hear you explain this really quick.
So real quick, I know I was kind of confusing there. I said they're on the same tier. But I think this guy's also on the same tier. I have Tom Brady at 4. I think
I don't have a problem with that. He's the GOAT. I don't have a problem with that.
I think that Tom Brady, personally, last year showed something that I didn't think he had. He had
deep ball.
40 touchdowns last year. At what, 44? That's like
next year his thing's gonna be 45 and 45. Can you imagine that?
If he does that, he might just play until he's 50, honestly.
And there's gonna be 50 and 50, dude.
Because bro, Tom Brady last year, by the way, true story, I totally predicted Tampa Bay in winter of early 2020, like January. I was like, bro, watch out. If Tom leaves, Tampa's the spot.
Honestly, I was like, he's gonna go to the Chargers. That's who I was thinking.
Yeah. So, but like I predicted it, and he goes there. He has Mike Evans, who, in my opinion, is criminally underrated at number 1. Chris Godwin, who might be the best number 2 in the league for a receiver.
Other than DK Metcalf.
I mean, if you think he's number 2.
Sam, you got to remember you're a Seahawks fan, buddy. Come on.
If you think he's number 2, I think Tyler Lockett's number 2.
Okay, then Tyler Lockett's better than Goodwin.
And then
remember the shirt you're wearing, bro.
Scotty Miller.
The white Tyreek Hill. Yep.
Kind of popped out of nowhere. Antonio Brown, who caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl. And then freaking Rob Gronkowski comes out of retirement, and all of a sudden in the last 5 games, it's like, yeah, I'm going to look like prime Gronk again, and goes freaking ballistic.
I never forget when I heard Gronk came out of retirement. My mom is, side story here, my mom is really big on The Masked Singer, the TV show. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about it. The Masked Singer.
Yeah.
Rob Gronkowski was on The Masked Singer. And my mom is like, she's telling me, she's like, oh, you know, Gronk. My mom loves Rob Gronkowski. The biggest Rob Gronkowski fan I know. So she's telling me about him on The Masked Singer, and a couple days later, I was like, oh, he's going to Tampa Bay, Mom. He's like coming out of retirement. She's like, all right, guess I got to root for Tampa this year. I was like, what? I was like, Brady plays for Tampa, right? She's like, oh, I think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I shit you not. When the Super Bowl came around, when the NFC Championship game was around and they won, I was like, Mom, they beat the Packers. Tampa's going to the Super Bowl. She's like, oh, I get to watch Gronk in the Super Bowl. She like started clapping, and I put money on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. Wasn't my best bet, I'll be honest. And when Gronk scored both of those touchdowns, my mom let me hear it that she was a Gronk fan. So,
yeah,
thanks Gronk.
But Brady showed me something that I did not expect last year. I think that he's gonna be good, not the same as last year. I think the same thing with Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is gonna die down like a couple touchdowns, like just a couple.
I think Brady is gonna be the guy on my list that moves down. If I had to predict guys that move up and down,
like if I had to predict a couple guys who would move down, I'd probably say maybe Tannehill and Brady are probably the guys who are going to be
I'd say my guys would be probably Brady and Kyler, just because Kyler's in a stupid good division. Stupid good. Like, if the Cardinals are 4th in the West, I can't put him top 10 if he's 4th in the West.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So I have Brady at 4. That's my reasoning.
My number 4 is the guy, again, another guy you disrespected, Lamar Jackson. People severely underappreciate his arm and his mobility. What? You guys something to say?
Wait, number
Yes.
3? I mean, no, number 4.
4.
Oh my God! I was like, wait, number 3? I was like, did you take Aaron Rodgers off your list?
Yeah. Oh, we don't include it, guys. We don't include guys who skip OTAs to go to Hawaii. Yeah. They're off my list.
Yeah, we are very old-fashioned.
If you're engaged to Shailene Woodley, don't even think about being on our list. You're out. Yeah. No, I have Lamar at 4.
Automatic rule. It doesn't just. I had the one rule that we had.
Yeah.
Shailene Woodley.
Very specific. Yeah, I just watched.
Not even a grudge. It's just something that we kind of.
I just watched Divergent. You were in the movie Divergent. Just get out of here. So, Lamar 4, again, serious threat on the run. Great arm. I think when he has legit receivers, he's going to be stupid good. People act like, I mean, he's got a career running percentage of like 82 or something. It's insane. I got Lamar 4 personally.
Yeah. Understandable.
We should have the same number 3. I really hope we have the same number 3.
Yeah, I have Russell Wilson at number 3. Okay, wait. Russell Wilson at number 3.
Wait. Good night. My boy right there.
Yeah, Russell Wilson. I am copping the shirt.
We love you. We love you. Please come on the podcast.
Yeah. We know you're watching, so just
yes, we know. I mean, we know you guys watch this during your team meetings. Need to film.
Yeah, we know that in the Zoom OTAs, you just kind of screen share videos.
You guys know what cover 2 is. You don't need to worry about all that stuff. You guys are watching the Always Compete Seahawks podcast.
Yeah, because the real insight.
Right. They want to know what's really going down in their practices.
Yeah,
they're like, dude, what happened at practice today? Let me get on YouTube and check it out real quick. And we're like, dude, Jermaine Ifedi sucks. And then Pete Carroll's like, all right, bro.
Like, yeah!
And Pete Carroll's like, sorry, bro, lost the team. Josh Johnson, though, he's good. We'll keep him. We'll keep that guy on the team.
Yeah.
That's
Russell Wilson.
I'd like to think we have a very large influence in the Seahawks front office. I'd like to think so.
Personally. Seahawks, just like Sheldon Richardson, KJ.
In that case, if we're just getting things out, re-sign KJ Wright and bring back Richard Sherman.
Hey, I heard Julio Jones up for trade.
Oh,
4th
and a 5th?
4th and a 5th for Julio.
2027 third round pick.
Yeah, Russ. Kind of self-explanatory.
By the way, if they trade for Julio Jones, we caused it. Just to let you guys know.
Yeah,
this was us.
Sure.
Okay.
For sure, all the time.
Sorry
Any move that happens, we previously predicted.
Right, obviously.
Russell Wilson.
Either we talked about it on video or we talked about it privately. It was due to us, 100%.
Yeah. Russell Wilson, one of the most consistent quarterbacks of the last decade, consistently puts up good stats. He's finally reached that point where he's consistently one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, putting up 30 touchdowns. Like, every season now, consistently, like 35 plus every year. So, great to see him finally hit that point at this point in his career. Going into his 10th season.
Here's a crazy stat for you. Russell Wilson is the winningest quarterback ever in his first 9 years. Russell Wilson needs 41 Whoa, my voice. Do you hear that? Russell Wilson needs 41 touchdown passes, I believe, to break the all-time record for touchdown passes in 10 seasons. The guy's legit. He's up there. If you look at his numbers, number for number, bar for bar, verse for verse, flow for flow, right there with Dan Marino, Peyton Manning. I mean, those guys are pretty good at football. I mean, I don't know. They're all right, I guess. He's a Hall of Famer. The dude makes this a contender every single year. Never had a losing season. Literally missed the playoffs when you're going 9-7. But into Russell Wilson, like, let's not kid ourselves. The week 8 MVP every single year, Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Anti-Russell Wilson now. I'm anti-Justin Herbert. You're anti-Russell Wilson.
What do you mean I'm anti-Russell? I love Russell Wilson. What do you mean?
Okay, sure.
I just come on. He's the week 8 MVP every single year. Come on.
I mean, you're not lying, but is he ever the week 17 MVP?
In my heart, he is. He's the every week MVP in my heart.
Come on the podcast. No, but
please.
Russ, consistent, does his own thing. He is who he is.
And one more thing before we move on from Russ. The videos that he records with Sierra are some of they're just comedic gold. And I can't not put a man on the list that has moments such as you about to get pregnant again. I can't not include that. I can't.
Or hey, Seattle,
we got a deal.
Finally, we can go to sleep. Go Hawks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the other thing. every sentence. Does your favorite quarterback say go insert team after every sentence?
I can tell you my number 2 doesn't anymore because my number 2 is Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, boom! Great segue. Boom, boom.
My number 2 is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Personally, not the best quarterback celebrity relationship on this list. It's definitely number 3. But
right.
Yeah,
right.
I have Aaron
shit,
Rodgers. I mean, after last year, this dude was flat out unstoppable last year. Flat out unstoppable. And I mean, like, he just has throws that you're like,
How
did he?
How did you do that, Aaron Rodgers?
And he has like this weird like sidearm underhand thing that'll do.
It's like here.
He'll go like this and 80-yard touchdown.
My favorite throw that he made was against the Bears, which I'll get into the Bears in a second because Lord knows I could go on forever. Boot out this way.
Because I have Nick Coles at number 1.
Comes back. Yes, sir. Andy Dalton. Are you kidding? No. He's facing like this way, flips his hips, like flicks his wrist like this. It's like 70 yards to Robert Tonyan. And I was so mad watching that game as a Bears fan, but I was like, that throw was so beautiful, man. I can't.
There's a throw that he had against the Eagles that was fairly forgotten, where he got in like triple coverage to Devontae Adams, and it was.
It's a cheat code. It's a cheat code.
Ridiculous. It was ridiculous. So I mean, Aaron Rodgers. Reason I have him at number 2, I don't think he'll be on the same team. He might be on a much worse team, and that's
hopefully,
bad.
As a Bears fan, I would greatly appreciate it if he got the hell out of Green Bay. I mean, I just would really love that.
My prediction is to Seattle as a backup for us.
Right. Obviously.
Yeah. So that's just my prediction. Once again, we kind of run the team, so just make that. Make that happen.
We'll decide. We'll decide in a little bit.
You can't be too sure. You can't be too sure. You know.
Maybe we'll just be like, like Tebow was at Florida, just run 2 quarterback packages. Like there's the center, and then there's just 2 quarterbacks standing here, and instead
and you don't know who's gonna snap it to.
Yeah.
You don't.
It's like sit, go, and then the other guy gets the ball, and Aaron Rodgers. It's just that's insane.
That would be ridiculous. That's why we brought in Shane Waldron. Shane Waldron is the only person who knows how to run that system.
I mean, Russell Wilson and Geno Smith, they're going to win co-MVP. 25 touchdowns apiece, combining for 50. And it's
why not 50 touchdowns each, though? 50 touchdouns each.
Yeah, but like they're not going to play in the fourth quarter, though. They're going to let some other quarterback.
We're going to let Magoo and Linkett start at the double quarterback system.
Yeah, for sure. Jake Heaps, get your ass back here, bro.
Jake Heaps?
I have Rodgers.
But yeah, Rodgers. Rodgers, once again, kind of cheat code. Number 1. It's everybody's number 1. Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Absolutely. I mean, did you see him in those first 11 weeks of the year? Dude was undefeated.
Undefeated. With the best receiver in the NFL in Juju.
Absolutely. No. He's got, not only is he the best receiver, but he's the greatest. I mean, get, the Sway Boys, the Hype House, get him out of there. All right, Chase Claypool and Juju Smith, the greatest thing to happen to TikTok since Addison Rae. Whoa, little bit of simping there. Excuse me. Anyway.
Number 1. I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes. It's Patrick Mahomes. Nobody can.
Thank you for saving me, by the way. I was deep in the water there, and you
nobody
threw me a lifeboat.
Nobody can deny that Patrick Mahomes is a generational talent.
He's a dog.
I wouldn't disagree with you if you said he's the most talented quarterback this game has ever seen. I wouldn't disagree. I wouldn't agree, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't disagree. You're wrong. I wouldn't be like you're wrong, but I wouldn't be like you're right.
One of those things where like you can disagree, but you can't really fight it. Like if somebody has that opinion, it's kind of like you can say you don't agree, but it's like you can't really fight against it. It's just
sure.
It's like Dan Marino, Favre, Mahomes. It's all kind of in there. Yeah, I don't really need to go into much detail, but again, if we're talking about significant others, Russell Wilson's way better. But on the subject of TikTok, if we're talking about TikTok relatives, Mahomes is just number 1. It's like 1 large gap and then 2. Jackson Mahomes, one of the best content creators out there. So we need to get this man a girlfriend. He's been
number 2, just under us. Number 2, just under us.
yeah, for sure. Patrick. So I mean, the Brady Mahomes Jackson Mahomes combo.
Obviously, I mean, Mahomes number 1. Why did you guys watch this video? You guys knew number 1 was.
If you skipped number 1 for us to say some shit like, "Oh, we think I can't even think.
Whoa.
Jared Goff. Like,
Hot take, Dak Prescott, number 1. Cowboys winning it all this year for the 5th year in a row. Cowboys.
Dude, actually, really like Carson Wentz, bro. Like, I really like Carson Wentz. But no,
I think the hembang with Reich is just gonna tell you revitalize.
No, it's Mahomes. So that's our list. If you disagree, let us know down below. Obviously, I know my list is correct, so you can go ahead and yell at Sam in the comments below. And then, let us know what you think of our list. We're going to be posting videos more consistently now. We're going to get back to the daily update. We had like an 8-day upload streak, and then we lost it for like 5 days.
And then we went to Cancun for a week.
Right.
But we didn't get tan because it was raining the whole time. So it sucked. We were in the Airbnb the whole time. Terrible, It is what it is.
It is what it is. So that's our video today, and make sure to let us know what you guys thought down below, and we will see you in the next episode. Subscribe also, don't forget, and that's all I got, unless you got something else.
Check me out on Twitter, Trey Brown Season. Give me some hate.
Chargers fans, you know where to direct your hate towards.
Give me some hate, and see you guys. See you next time. Peace out.